Hello everyone. In today's video, we are sharing some very fun facts about our very favorite sports, billiard. So let's start. Billiard evolved from a lawn game similar to cricket, played sometimes during the 15th century in Northern Europe, probably in France. The term pool room now means a place where billiard is played, but in 19th century, a pool room was a betting parlor for horse racing. Billiard tables were installed so patrons could pass the time between races. The game of billiard and the pool room became connected in public's mind. Therefore, today, two terms are used interchangeably. The Doom of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's home, conceals a billiard room. In Jefferson's day, billiard was illegal in Virginia. The term scratch, as applied to pocketing of a cue ball, was derived from the penalty assessed for such a foul. In pool early days, the score was often kept on a chalkboard. When a player pocketed the cue ball, his opponent scratched a point off the shooter's score. Billiard was the first sport to have a world championship in 1873. In 1586, the castle of Mary Queen of Scots was invaded and captured. The invaders made a note of forbidding her the use of her billiard table. Then they killed her and used the covering of the table to cover her body. The first coin-operated billiard table was patented in 1903. The cost of the game on the first pay-for-play table was 1 penny. Before the invention of celluloid and other new age plastics, billiard balls were made out of ivory. The elephants can thank their present existence on the invention of plastics because billiard balls had to be cut from the dead center of a tusk. The average tusk yielded only 3 to 4 balls. Captain Maingard, the inventor of the leather Q-tip, was imprisoned for political reasons during the French Revolution. With the help of a fellow prisoner, he was able to have a billiard table installed in his cell. During his imprisonment, he became so obsessed with the game that he devised and perfected his invention. His obsession became so intense that at the end of prison, he actually asked for a longer sentence so that he could complete his study of the game. The world's largest billiard hall was built during billiard's golden age. The Recreation, a mammoth 7th-story health spa, was bustling Detroit business in 1920s. It featured 103 tables, 88 bowling lanes, 20 barber chairs, 3 manicuring stands, 14 cigar stands, a lunch counter on each floor, a restaurant that could seat 300, and an exhibition room with theater seating that could accommodate 250 spectators. Charles Goodyear, the inventor of vulcanized rubber, which revolutionized billiard cushions and countless other industries, died a virtual pauper. His company failed. He was imprisoned for debt and he profited little from his breakthrough invention. Throughout the most of 1800s, the chalk used on the new leather Q-tips was carbonate of lime, better known as blackboard chalk. Most chalk used today is comprised of fine abrasive and does not contain a speck of chalk. The church has long been a part of billiard history. From its earliest days, the game was often denounced as a sinful, dangerous, morally corrupt activity. In 15th century France, billiard play was forbidden by the church as well as the king. In early American history, actual laws were passed outlawing the game in many parts of the land. No one knows exactly who, when, or where the first billiard table was built. The earliest documented record of a billiard table was made in 1470. In an inventory of the possessions of King Louis XI of France, his table was said to have contained the following: a bed of stone, a cloth covering, and a hole in the middle of the playing field into which balls could be driven. Harvey Hendrickson probably made as much money as anyone with his limited skills at billiard table. He actually toured the country and amazed audiences, not with his ability to run rags or pocket balls, but with his freakishly unique ability to pick up and hold 15 billiard balls at once using one hand. What is billiard cloth made of? Amazingly, the main component of billiard cloth has remained unchanged for over 400 years. Wool was used in the 1500s and remains the fabric of choice today. The word queue is derived from the French queue, meaning tail. Before the cue stick was designed, the billiard was played with a mace. The mace consisted of a curved wooden head used to push the balls forward, attached to a narrow handle. Since bulkiness of the mace head made shots along the rail difficult, it was often turned around and the tail end was used. Players eventually realized this method was far more effective, and the cue as a separate instrument grew out of the mace tail. There were few, if any, women's tournaments in the early 1890s. Whatever titles there were local and usually self-proclaimed. Until, of course, Frances Anderson came along. The Indiana native merely proclaimed herself champion of the world and offered $5,000 to any woman who could beat her at pocket billiards. Anderson toured the country playing both men and women. Legend has it, she went undefeated for 25 years against her female competitors. She was paid handsomely for her appearances throughout the 1920s, taking on challengers and giving exhibition in both America and Europe. She followed this up with a well-publicized announcement that shocked the pool-playing world. Her real name was Ivory from Kansas, not Frances, and she was actually a he. At the times, including during the Civil War, billiard results received wider coverage than war news. Players were so renowned that cigarette cards were featuring them. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, please like, comment and share. And don't forget to subscribe. Take care.